and roadblocks, and I'm like, is this roadblocks really? That's 30 pounds that's been swiped on there. Career, going to work cost you money. All these pillars, you need money. Ministry, it costs something to get yourself this venue, for instance. If we move to the next one. And so, hey. So the first pillar I want to talk about is protection. So protection really is, if you're building a house, you put a foundation down. So I just want you to imagine, today I want you to leave with the fact that I'm building my financial house. I want my house to be strong. Building my financial house, I want it to be strong. You start off with the foundation of a house. The foundation is, if the storms come, if the rain falls, if the wolf comes and blows the three little pigs' house down, will it stand? And the foolish, she says, see trouble and ignore it. But the wise see danger and take cover. So in terms of protection here in the UK, the first thing that's going to happen to all of us, unless Christ comes back first, is we're going to die. We're going to die on this side. We don't die because we're eternal beings, so there's life after. But on this side, whether you're working out for your children, for your family back home, there's going to be a time it comes to an end. Have you got a life insurance in place? How many of you have had to pay for a funeral recently or navigate that? Anyone? Recently, yeah? And how much did that cost? Yeah? It's not cheap. It's not cheap. And one of my pains when I was working in the bank was I would see people coming into the bank saying, I want to take out a personal loan to bury my father. My father died and there's no money. But at that time, it's such an emotional thing. This is your dad. And you're at a point where your credit is not good, and you're taking out this loan at 20% interest. Paying that loan back for 4, 5 years, a reminder every time of that death. When a simple life insurance policy is saying, God, I trust in you, I will live and a long life, I'm going to be diligent with everything you give me, but you know what? When I go, I don't want to live trouble. Because when you go, you're gone. Many people don't care. It's like, no, I'm not going to be around to see. But the love that you have for your children, if you're loving enough to buy them a pair of Nike trainers, be loving enough to know that you are not the one who knows how many days on earth you're going to be here. Put something in place. The other thing is sickness. If you want to go to the next one, critical illness cover. Critical illness cover. Currently in the UK, 1 in 2 of us on paper, statistically wise, get diagnosed with a critical illness. And in life it says that in this life you'll face many trials. You don't know what your trial is going to be. Having a little bit of critical illness cover just makes sure that if you're diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, stroke, all those horrible allergies, which we are binding and casting and saying, God, it will not come near my house. If you're in that position to have that trial knock on your door, there's some money that gets paid out to you. And that money gives you peace of mind in an hour of trouble. Recently, I know someone who we did a cover for years ago, and they had a baby. The baby was in ICU for 3 months. How many of you have known family or where that's happened or been involved in that? And the critical illness policy paid them out £25,000 because your children are covered on that as well. You know, you hope to God nothing happens to your kids, but that's what that sort of thing does. Sick pay cover. How many of you here are self-employed? Yeah, you work for yourself. You're boss ladying it. Yeah. And it's wonderful to have that freedom. But who pays you when you're not well? Nobody. So income protection, sick pay cover. How many of you are on SSP? You've heard your boss say, you get SSP if you're off sick. SSP, does anyone? Statutory sick pay? Not everyone. Some people don't have recourse to public funds and don't have, but some employers give the statutory benefits. That's about £109 a week. How many of you here can make it on £109 a week? You can't. So all I'm saying is this element here of life insurance, accident cover, the advice is always free to have in most places. It's your foundation. Sit down with someone, have a look and say, okay, if things go wrong, let me put a bit of my budget, of my £1,000 that's coming to cover for a rainy day. Let's go to the next one. The next wall is you're making money, your hustle, your 9 to 5 or your business venture. Now, this is where it's important. It says, cast your bread on many waters. Multiple income streams. All of us here have a gift, has a talent, has something more than the standard that we can do. And I believe that that's one of the things that I've personally experienced, stepping out. You know, sometimes it's hard to just jump out of the comfort of the 9 to 5, but to identify that, okay, I've got a little bit of this. Hey, I can make weave now. There are so many people who've moved to the UK and they are too busy to go to hairdresser now. I can make weave. It costs me £10. It gives me, 3 hours in the evening. I can do that as a little side hustle. I can drive, Uber drive, you know what I mean? What little extra income stream can you generate? Digital income, the TikTokers, oh my goodness, those people are making a killing. But it's starting to say, this is my land. The land in the United Kingdom is green. Which area am I best poised by based on my gifts, skills, and talents? If I like talking to people, I can go and do network marketing. I can do sales. I can, something that's in alignment with me so that you don't get grieved and stressed out about life. As you're doing it, there's a passion that comes out from it. If you go to the next one, sorry. Oh, we've moved back. And also thinking about the taxation system in that way you get paid. So many people, if you set up a business, you set up a limited company, taxation-wise, it's a bit more favorable than pay-AYE, but it all depends, and that's something that you have to think about, depending on the business you're about to start. How many of you here are into property investment? Yeah? So, you need to look at what's my tax status. Am I a basic rate taxpayer? Am I a high rate taxpayer? So when I'm now buying these properties, shall I put them in what is called a special vehicle to put these properties in so that tax-wise it's a bit better? Because the taxman will look for you and want their money back. And what did Jesus say about tax? Pay to Caesar. What belongs to Caesar? One of the things I've started calling it is the social community fund, just to make yourself feel better. It's the one that takes out the trash, the bills, so that you don't feel so terrible about it. If you go to the next one. So I've just got some scriptures there. It says financial education will make you a living. Can you go back a bit, sorry? Financial education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. That was Jim Rohn who said that. You only have so many hours in a day. Let others make the money for you. So thinking about growing your money trees, what are you going to do? What have you got in your hand? Ask your neighbor, what have you got in your hand? What are we going to do? Ask your neighbor. Yeah. And if we go on to the next one. So spending money, hey, this is where it's so tricky. The choices, so many choices out there. Woo. And this, for a lot of us, it's an ego thing. Oh, I can't be seen to be shopping anywhere else other than Prime, other than Marks, or other than, we have that. I don't know whether you have it amidst your friends. This is Jimmy Choo. Me, I don't wear that one now. So sometimes pride comes before a fall. When you know you cannot afford this one, your sister is earning 150,000. You're on 20,000. Cut your cloth according to what you have. Yes, to your size. Your time will come. Yeah. And he said to them, take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. So it's also important to just think about that and shop around. There's so many great websites online that allow you to compare main things that you can't get out of: home insurance, car insurance. Do a comparison. You can't afford to be sleeping because guess what? The systems out there, they're eyeing you. You are their target. They're trying to get your money anyhow. So you have to be on top of things every year. Do a financial review. How many of you do that financial review regularly? Anyone? Yeah, fantastic. But you can't afford to just keep running, and things just happening to you. You have to say, no. I am, taking control of my life and let me decide who gets what money. I remember a time where I was getting so frustrated with direct debits. How many of you just don't like direct debits? Money goes in boom, 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 and it's like, and I said, no, I will pay you on this day. So I got very organized and I was like, I'll pay you, I'll pay you, I'll pay you. It felt better that I was more in control. I'm not advising you do that because some of you will be so busy and you start having late payments and defaults, but see what it is that is holding you back as an individual. And just start to think about it. There's so many fantastic apps, budgeting bank accounts, things like Monzo that you can put different pots. So it's not saying don't have a good time, but put some allowance to say, you know what, my fun allowance is £200. Once it's gone for the month. My holiday allowance, So organize your money and you take control of where you want it to go. If we go to the next one. Oh, someone is not there? Could you? Okay. Investing and growing your money. So this is where I was talking about earlier. If you just earn your money and you're just this way, many of us very good savers. How many of you are good savers here? Yeah? Yeah. So, but when you save your money and you keep it in cash, and it's not money that you're going to need in the next year, you're fighting the giant of inflation. So you should have 3 pots, right? 3 pots. 3 pots, immediate spending, money that I use regularly. Then money that I'm going to need sort of in the next 1 to 3 years. It must be relatively liquid as well. And then money that's 3 years and beyond, I don't need access to. That money for the future, I must get it to work. Am I right? So of your £1,000 that you've got, if you are not sending any money to the future today, what's going to happen? You're going to get to the future and you're going to need to keep running. There will be nothing there. And retirement soon comes. I'm 42 now and I'm like, how did I get to 42? In my mind, I'm still 23, but I'm like, hey, times are clicking on, every year after year. And before you know it, I look at people who are 60, 70. I see them as babies now because I understand how quickly time flies. And you're dealing with the dailies of daily living, childcare, the demands of life. This one wants this. You have to be disciplined enough to say, no, I don't have it. I am not able to do that because it has to go to my future. Yeah? So go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. The ant, it organizes things on there. And you've got things like stocks and shares, investments, and I'm not giving any advice now, but I'm saying go and sit with someone who will give you advice. We're actually doing a conference on the 3rd and 4th of November, which is all about money. So we're going to do cryptocurrencies, stocks and shares investments, YouTube channel, monetizing, so find out what is it that I can do based on my life and where I am. Maybe you're the only one in the family and you're looking after everyone at home, so your needs are more. You don't have as freedom as someone who's on their own. Big sisters are all working. They've got big disposable income. So you need to say, okay, for me and my situation, what can I actually get into? What can I learn about so that I can get into it? Pension. How many of you are part of your pensions at work? Yeah? Yeah, brilliant. Don't get out of that. It's horrible when you see the money coming out because it's like, the pension, they've taken the pension. And so many people said, I canceled it today. It was a lot of money. Yeah, but this is money that there's a tax back immediately. Let's say, for instance, you put £100 into it. Immediately, the government, if you're a basic rate payer, puts £25 there. Where have you been given £25 for £100? Nowhere. And guess what? Over years, as you keep saving and saving and saving, and it's invested by fund managers for you, it will grow. Yeah? Borrowing money. Hey, how many know this pillar one well? How many understand borrowing money well? Yeah? Have you ever, none of you have borrowed money? Hey. I said, hey, I'm sitting with my rich aunties here. I'm coming to borrow from you. So borrowing money, really, it says the rich rules over the poor and the borrower becomes the slender slave. But there are things that you can borrow money for when you know that you're going to appreciate in value. For instance, property is one of them. Properties over time tend to appreciate. And like so many people think, how do people get to buy so many properties? They've taken that one property, the value of the house has gone up. What they then do is pull out some money from there, go and buy another property, deposit for another property, let that mortgage happen, and then it goes up after a few years, pull out again, buy another property. So one gives birth to 2, to 3, to 4 over time. That's something that you can do. How many of you have witnessed interest rates going up and felt it in your mortgage payment and it's been painful in the last year? Yeah. So there's always those risks as well that you must be aware of. But if you're paying money to a landlord, rent these days, it's not cheap. You'll find that a mortgage probably is actually better. And at the end of the day, let's say 60 years in the UK, or, at the end of the day, if you had bought a house, you still have a house that you can sell and live off the money. Whereas if you were renting, at the end of the day, there's nothing. The landlord can just say, get out, and you're on the streets. You're literally out there. So thinking about buying a house is a good way. And when you are really recently in the UK, with you haven't got your indefinite leave to remain yet, you can put up to 10% deposit, and you can get a mortgage. And there's no limits on time as long as your credit rating is good. So start working on your credit score. Yeah, I've done quite a few of those. So the key is credit score, because there's just 2 lenders who can do it. So you have to have a good credit score. So start thinking about that. A good way to build up your credit record, which is your financial passport. You've got your physical passport, which lets you travel. Your financial passport is your credit report. If you get parking tickets, please pay it. Then go argue afterwards, because many people get these CCJs, defaults, which affect your credit history. And what that then means, your car insurance premiums will go up, everything, all your debt will increase. So your credit reports, don't let anyone mess with that. Boyfriend coming in and saying, oh, baby, take a loan in my name. Don't do it, oh. Don't let anyone mess with your credit report. I remember talking to some young, and talk to your children about this as well, going to uni. One young one went to uni. Someone says, look, I'll give you £200 cash. Get a latest iPhone for me or whatever, iPad. And they thought, I'll get it for free from Carphone Warehouse. There you go. They didn't understand what was going on, that the credit agreement had happened. They got 200 quid. They thought, I'm quids in. Now the monthly direct debit wanted to go. And they're like, I can't afford £50 a month. I'm just about living off that. And so they got a CCJ. This person wanted to work in financial services. Guess what? When you've got bad credit initially, that's your career and everything, just for the sake of £200. So be careful, of selling your birthright for a bowl of soup. If we go to the next one. Yeah, so there's many ways of borrowing: overdrafts, credit cards, student loans, payday loans. Try and stay away from payday loans. They really badly affect your credit on there. Hire purchase is a good way sometimes when you need something like new sofas. They do 6 months interest free. Make sure you pay it off within 6 months. These days, there's that whole Klarna, buy now, spread it over 3 months. It's helping a lot of people, but if you go over that period, hella interest rate. So you have to be disciplined when you do use those things. And then the last thing is succession planning, passing on money wisely. Hey, please, do a will. Don't cause havoc when you go and everyone is trying to box each other and say, this is mine, this is yours. Trusts, if you set up policies and things, put them in trust for who you want to benefit. I remember hearing a story where someone had separated from their husband. They had a child before, and then a child with this partner. Then they'd separated, and they had a life insurance policy, but it wasn't in trust. But they were still married. Guess what happened? She died. Guess who got the money? The spouse, the partner who they were separated from, who'd separated because they'd run off with another woman. And their older child, the husband took the younger child, the older child got nothing from your late mom's estate. So it's so important to think about what happens when I go. Put things down, put things in writing. I know as Africans, sometimes we don't like to think it because you think, now I'll be bringing bad luck onto myself. No. It's just being organized. Our Lord and Savior, our God, left us a Bible, a will. We know what to do today because we've got that living testament to keep going. So leave a living testament for your next generation. Set up guardians. Many of you have come here. You're on your own. And what if something happens? Who's going to look after the little ones? Yeah. And I think my time is almost up. So, yeah, just a few things about benefits. You know, these are benefits in the United Kingdom. So currently state pension, 203.85, statutory sick pay, like I was saying, bereavement allowance, attendance allowance, that's the higher end of it, disability living allowance, carers allowance, maximum benefits for a couple living in London is that. So we're blessed to have a country that thinks about people in their tough times. But we also have the advantage of a superior kingdom, the kingdom of God. The kingdom where every day our account is loaded with daily benefits, 24 hours of time, relationships that we can nurture. We have gifts, skills, and talents that we can choose where to position to bring about profitability. And we've got faith. When you hear God say, look, speak to that one, don't say, I don't really, Oibo, yeah. For me, it was Oibo man who God showed me. I was about to partner with my brother. And God said, no, that's not the business partner for you. It's Oibo. And this one has been no end of blessing to me. So God does not see this color. Let's break the barriers down. Don't look down on anyone. Just be open-hearted. God has got so many wonderful plans for all of us. And just us analyzing our personal relationship with money. If you just go quickly, I'll cut. So accessing your wealthy place, one of the things that you can do to pivot, I don't have time to talk about this, but I'll probably send you a link where I describe it in a bit more detail, where you can access your, whenever you come a point in life, whether you've relocated, you've had a loss, your financial clout can go down, but you have a choice to pivot by using one of these currencies. So that is always going to happen in your life. You will have ups and downs. You will have different seasons. You will have seasons of plenty and seasons of less. But you, God in you, He always have those currencies that He can use at any given time to come out of sticky situations, to navigate. And understanding the earthly system and the kingdom system, we have that greater advantage because we've got the two working all for our good. I don't know if anyone has any questions that they want to ask. So, she's collecting. Wonderful. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you're giving me time to wrap up. Yeah, so I was saying, relationships are one of the key ones that I wanted to talk about today because as a currency, I was told that success I was listening to, I can't remember his name, John Maxwell. He's a leadership coach. And he was just sharing some stats the other day to say 15% of success is about what you know, but 85% of success is about how you relate with people. In my native language, we say mariri muvano. Money is in people's hands. Whatever you decide to do, whether you are driving bus, taxi, selling weave, it's about your ability to communicate and relate with other people. So one of the best things we can always try and do is work on our relationships. Jesus grew in stature and wisdom, gaining favor with God and with. So we can't ignore this manward side when we're here on earth. There is that ability. And then relationship with money. What's our relationship with money? Whenever I see it, I get excited. I've got a one-night stand with it. Before I know it, it's gone. That's that book there. So yeah, but I hope that's given you a quick snippet and has been useful. But yeah, wow, loads of questions. Wonderful. Thank you, Ma. Okay. Do you advise people to make more tgaga overpayments? More mortgage overpayments or to use the money to buy another payment? Okay. So it depends on what you want to do. So if you can comfortably afford your mortgage, and because property investment, it's not everyone's ideal dream, it's just a very good strategy that over time works well. But if you want to buy more property, by putting into that, if you're, because it's in the house, then maybe in a few years' time you can remortgage and take that out when it's now a lump sum and you want to buy. Because the more you pay over, the years on the mortgage gets reduced. So if you find that it's a good way to discipline yourself and just put it in the mortgage, reduce the balance, and then, when you're 50, I've only got 20,000 on the mortgage. It's a small one. I've still got 20 more years energy in me. Let me take 30 out and buy another property. You can do that comfortably, whereas to try and take that extra 50 pounds maybe that you were going to do overpayment on and save it for it to become a deposit might be more difficult. So I would advise that. Overpayments are great. Do you advise people to house emergency funds when they already have income protection, life insurance, and critical care cover? So home emergency funds are not bad to have anyway. But if you've got, the thing is, these income protections, life insurance, and all that, it's a good shelter. When things go wrong, you can turn to them. Does that make sense? So emergency, beyond that, maybe it's not you who's fallen ill, maybe it's your mom, maybe. So you're not going to get the income protection. So home emergency funds, I would advise anyone to have it anyway, because life can throw all sorts at us. Okay, thank you. Yes. Mhm. Yes. 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 Yeah. The minute you get your cover, the minute it's on risk, you die tomorrow, it pays out. I had someone who only paid 1 month premium in the past, and they took out every cover. Sadly, they were diagnosed with a serious illness. It all paid out. They even asked me and said, this person must have known. I said, hey, your God speaks to you. You were just feeling that, do something. It paid out a lot of money. So you don't, the minute you get it, you're covered. Yes. Yes. Okay. Mm. Okay. So this is why I think it's always important to speak to an advisor, because everybody is different on your circumstances. So with what you're talking about, income protection, is that income protection you're talking about? Sick pay? Sick pay cover? Sick pay insurance? Sick. Okay. Zurich, yeah. Critical illness. So critical illness generally, upon diagnosis, it pays out a lump sum, then that's the end of the policy. Unless at the beginning you asked for it to be renewed, so that if you get a claim, the policy still stands, and then you get another diagnosis, it'll pay out. So, but normally people don't go for that because it costs more to do it like that. But critical illness, normally lump sum payment, that's it. Sick pay cover or income protection, that's the one that you can choose, one that will pay you for a 2-year period in the event of sickness, or a 5-year period, or long-term income protection. So what then determines which one someone chooses usually is your budget. If you have enough money to cover long-term income protection, hey, you go for that one. But sometimes the budget is so tight, and I say, look, half a loaf is better than nothing. Yeah, that's that. What's the difference between critical care cover and income protection? So critical care cover pays out a lump sum upon diagnosis, pretty much one-off. You've been diagnosed with a specific illnesses, and every policy is different. So you kind of want to pick one that is in alignment with maybe what you're predisposed to. You're saying your family, there's a history of cancer, or there's a history of, you want to go for one that kind of leans towards that. There's some really nice ones these days which give you benefits when you're alive. I've got one with someone called Vitality. You get half-price gym membership, spa breaks, and all that. So that, it depends on that. But income protection, what it does is it's like sick pay cover. When you're at work, how many of you get like 6 months full pay, 6 months half pay? Yeah? So income protection does something like that. So when you're sick, doesn't have to be critical illness, can be depression, can be COVID, can be fracture, backache, anything. It will now say, you're not well. Doctor's sign-off note, that's all you need. Now, what you need to worry about is the deferred period. So the deferred period, when you took out the policy, you have to say, Tendai, you know what? I'll be fine for a month if I'm sick. Most people are okay for the first month if they're sick because you've paid your bills last month and you've already worked to get paid next month. So normally, a waiting period of a month is okay. Then, after that waiting period, it'll start paying you weekly until you're able to go back to work. I hope that answers that. Will income cover a self-directed person when they are ill? So like a director of a company? Yeah. Yes. Yes, it will. It just depends also on your line of work. There are a few lines of work we have to think about, but mostly it will do. So for instance, if you've got like residual income already, that doesn't need you to be working, and it'll still get paid when you're sick, then there's no point really. So, and upon claim time, they will assess what you've declared as your income. So there's self-employed people, sometimes you're a director, you're earning $5,000 a month, but you're only taking 1,000 dividends. When it comes to claim time, they will look at what's showing on your self-assessment or the tax. They'll look at the 12,000. So when you take the cover, make sure you take the cover according to the income that or the dividend. If you take salary and dividend, whatever your declared income is, because the government doesn't allow you to get paid more when you're, I've answered that one, What is a payday loan? A payday loan. It's those people, I just said, evil ones. It's those people who say, are you working? You're working? You need money in the middle of the month? That's fine. How much do you need? You say, I need just 1,000. They say, okay, fine. We give you 1,000 today, but the day you get paid, you give us 1,500. Yeah. A lot. It depends. It depends. And sometimes you are so desperate. Sometimes you get so desperate and, depends. So that's why I say if you've got friends sometimes, because everyone gets into a bind at some point in life, make sure you pay back, do good. When you borrow from friends, pay back. Because now when you've run out of options, and no one, when they see you, they say, no, Sister Ida, we can't see. Then now you have to face the loan sharks, and that's what they are. Do you do financial review? Yeah, I do. That's what I do. That's my 9 to 5. That's my job. Is there a tool or app to use? Marriage benefit, is it for all? What do you mean by marriage benefit? No. Some of these things, all they're trying to do, you have to also be, what are they called? I'm trying to think of when they want to grab your information. Yeah. Have you called them? Your income. You won't qualify. Yeah. Yeah. Marriage allowance. When I was talking about state benefits and maximums and things like that, it's a whole world of benefits that go and see a benefit officer if you think you're entitled to something. But I think single people have a lot more benefits than married people that they can literally go and say, I'm single, and there's something that you can get. Is it wise to release equity on a property? not to go and buy McDonald's, but if you're going to if you're going to invest in another property, yeah, a lot of people have done that. And if you've got time on your hands, if you're younger, you've got more time for the investments to grow. Yes. Yes. Okay. So LTV is loan to value, yes. So loan to value is like, let's say, it depends on where you are. The higher LTVs, which means, let's say you own, the mortgage is 95% of the value of the house. That's what LTV means. So first time buyer normally, at the moment there's 100% mortgage out there, but yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So it just depends on, you have to do the calculations. You literally, it doesn't, yeah, you have to do the calculations, because if you're still in a fixed rate, right? You said? Okay. Yes. Yes. And now it's 80. Yes. Okay. And you want to, yeah. Yeah. So, some you could, no, well, not stocks and shares. I don't think I wouldn't do that. I think stocks and shares, it's volatile, but also I advise to pay regularly so that you benefit from pound cost averaging over years. I think is always a good thing to do, because the market goes up and down. If you invested one time, boom, and the market was up, that money is just going through the ju all the time. So if you have your investment ISA allowance, use that up, paying regularly. You're benefiting from the pound cost averaging. Markets are going up and down. That's better. But for other property, yeah, because that's the only way to multiply. Well, it's not the only way you can save, but once there's equity, at the point that you feel comfortable taking it out, as long as the repayments, because right now interest rates are been a bit of a shocker to everyone compared to where we've been, but this is where we were about 10 years ago. So if it's something that you're thinking, now is the time I need to buy, and it's a risk. There's no fail safe, but you can do it. I wouldn't say I advise you. I would look at your whole scenario and say you've got young kids, your husband's in a good job. You know what I mean? You have to look at everything. If you're already tight financially, it might really push you over the edge. Yeah, because, and are you an experienced investor? If it's your first time investing, buy to let, hey, it's another world. Tenants don't pay. Can you then afford to pay that mortgage and that mortgage? But and you're already tight there. So it's just thinking about all of that, really, and making an informed decision after. How comfortable does it sit? Does everything sit with you? I just believe everyone, you have a sense of, yeah, I can take the risk. Or, I think I'm trying to play with the big guns here, and I'm not ready. Go on. Yes. Mm. Yes. 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 No, no. Yes. It's a gamble. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, what I've found is over time, so I resonate with that. What I've found is over time, I've come across people with different appetites for risk. So for instance, when you do take money and you buy a house back home in Africa, that's a very high risk thing to do. Do you know that? That is a very, very high risk thing. You're giving your money to somebody else. You're building a land where you're not living. There's the risk factor, geographical risk, currency risk. So I found that over years, people have a very high appetite for risk. So, like when I'm now saying to you, what's your appetite for risk? Risk is dangerous. It can pay off. Sometimes it doesn't pay off. But if you're safe, and when you come to regulated advisors like us, we have rules to say if it's over this amount, please, no. Or have they got this, have they got that? To keep a guidance of safety, because we want to operate in safety range. But I know people out there, you are all risk takers. A lot of you are risk takers. Go on. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the times, yeah, because if that then makes it a place that you can lease out and other people on the days you're not using it, it's becoming, so yeah, a lot of people do that. And why not? Yeah, you could do. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 They would look at the books, see are the payments going to be affordable. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah, and I think with the church as well, a church is here for life, isn't it? So you're just really in your time doing it up to standard, and then the next generation will inherit a place that they won't say, even the young people, more of them will want to come. You know what I mean? And so it can also be part of thinking of the, yeah, 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 yes, yeah, 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 you could do. You could do. Yes. Yes. Hmm. No, the value hasn't changed, but you are more indebted. You are more indebted. The property is not, because the debt is on you. It's not on the house. The house, if it's going to appreciate, it keeps appreciating. You are the one who's now more, and you are the one who's got more debt. The debt is on you. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Is it a good idea to invest money with home improvement so that the house? Yeah, we've got that one done. So that the house gets more value. So you can do, yeah. I mean, I know so many people who've done their garage conversions into flats, and they're earning side income from that. So ah, well, yeah, for yourself. Well, sometimes it does. It depends. I wouldn't hedge on that so much. Yeah, it's not a big, yeah, yeah. Increase the value. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, 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 Yeah. It was this. Yeah. Eh. Eh. So yeah, so location is a key thing. So I think the benefit of mainly home improvements is for yourself and what you want to do. Yeah, mental health, exactly. It's true. You feel good coming into a beautiful home. That's true. And also, like I know a lot of people who do certain businesses these days, and if you want to then convert it to an HMO, just you thinking that when there's more bedrooms here rather than all the space, I'll get more money income from it. So now that's your money making engine thinking now. Yeah. But yeah, if it's the home you live, just for comfort, really. You're on this side of eternity once, eh? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. It's true. Yeah. 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 It's only 220. Mm-hmm. Exactly. They're the top of the sales chain. They're the ones who'll do anything. Please advise me on how to build my credit score. So, if you don't have a credit score, a good way to start is get a credit card, use it maybe for fuel, but pay it off every month. Because credit is one of those things that it just creeps up on you. If you don't pay it 1 month, before you know it, now you're in a cycle, and that money is, so that's a good way to do it. Go on the voters roll, join Credit Karma. Credit Karma, it's free, and every month they'll give you tips and hints and on what to do. And then if a life insurance policy is, oh, yeah, it will tell you. It will tell you there's. Yeah, it's scary out there. Oh my God. Anything to check. Ah. 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 Jeez. Ooh, Jesus. So it becomes a criminal case anyhow to try and assess. It's fraud to try and assess, but it can take a while to sort it out. So have the police gotten in? Yeah. 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 It's TransUnion credit. Yeah. TransUnion credit is a good one. TransUnion credit. Yes. Credit Karma is free all the way.
Good. And Credit Karma, it's not that they will disturb your email with
Yeah,
alerts.
no.
Nothing will pass you by.
Yeah.
I cannot under-recommend
Yeah.
Credit Karma. Credit Karma is free. Who searched you?
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
that you can check your email every day. Credit Karma. Credit Karma.
Yeah.
You can do TransUnion,
Yeah.
but it's free for the first 1 month. It has everything.
Yeah. Ah, my sister, we pray for total restoration in Jesus' name. Ah. Yeah, it's disheartening and it's frustrating. And I really encourage you, if you're free on the 3rd or 4th of November, do come to this Understanding Money. We've actually got a fraud investigator coming to talk in Milton Keynes, at Holiday Inn in Milton Keynes. He's going to come and talk about the latest fraud techniques people are using. It's getting really scary, and there's a dark underground system of, not that we don't walk in fear as we're children of God, but it's just to be alert, just to be aware. Even children, I watched the other day, how many of you like to post your children on social media and everything? Because with the AI that's coming up now, they can actually go and have imaging of them in the future, take out bank account. Your child can get into the future, and someone has already started doing like what you've described, because they've already done driver's license for them, and taken out loans. So really, we cancel that. Yeah, in Jesus' name, we have to be on top of it. The horses really are here. If a life insurance policy is for 20, the other one on credit, how do you sort out credit? Because but someone who's had bad credit, does anyone want to? Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, mobile phone contract, virtually everyone will give you that. Start off with that, and then go on the store card. But don't do too many of them, because psychologically you can get reeled. The system is like an octopus. It will take you in. It will grab you. Yeah, and then voters register is important as well. And whenever you move address, just make sure you change the address on that credit facility, because when your addresses don't match, that also drops your scores down. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 Should I just go? What do you want to read them? It'll make it. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're on this one.
So the second question, if ladies, if a life insurance policy is for 20 years and one finishes paying the life insurance policy and unfortunately dies a year after finishing paying the life insurance policy, what's your advice? Do you
Well,
finish paying life insurance policy?
yeah. So if it's a 20-year term, that's it. After it's finished, it's finished.
So if the person dies a year after,
Then it's over. It's like car insurance. If you stopped, the money is gone. Yeah, you don't get anything back. So with life insurance, I always say, think about it in a bit of a different way. Take the cover out for the need. Yeah. So if you've got young children, You'll find like a whole of life policy that will always pay out whenever you die. It's more expensive. But if you're a mom with 2 children, let's say you've got a budget of £20 a month to take insurance out. If you take out a 20-year term until your children are a little older, it might pay out 100,000 with a £20 premium. With the whole of life, that will never, whenever you die, that's when it'll pay out. It might be the same £20 a month, but you're only going to get 10,000. You see, it's not useful. The 10,000 is not useful. So with life insurance, you just have to think of it as, I take the cover for the need. So the minute your children are grown and you don't need that big 100,000, you're now looking at it again and say, hey, God, thank you. I've raised my children. They are okay. Now, I want to leave legacy for grandchildren. Okay, I take out small policy. That £20 I was using, what can I get on whole of life now? Now I'm not worried about if I go today, how will they pay bills? Where will they live? So you can now take a new policy that's now forever. But it doesn't make sense to think, I want something that will never end younger. And then what? Your children will be mad at me to say, why did you take out small policy for my mom?
The next question. If you have breached a mortgage agreement by renting out your residential property, what are the consequences with the bank? I'm guessing if you want to, that's when you want to remortgage, and if you tell them,
Yeah.
what are the consequences?
If you,
Goodness, do you have to tell them?
yeah, well, you do, because it depends on these days. It just depends on the lenders. I've had some lenders go and check. So it's if you can. I always say to people, get legal as soon as you can get legal. You know, people have been in this nation. Some of us didn't have papers for a while and the system. But the aim of the game is to do things the right way up. The right way up, you can sleep with peace. Because if you've got tenants in there, tell you a story. Someone had tenants in there, building caught fire. Home insurance was for residential, didn't pay nothing. So, because you've got the wrong way up. So it doesn't happen to everyone, but just think of that. Have that fear to say, let me do things the right way.
This person is asking about mortgage.
Yeah, because the mortgage, in terms of the mortgage, again, if things go drastically wrong, the lender, most of the times when they find out that if there's tenants, they'll normally just charge you maybe a percentage higher, or they'll say pay a sum of this and we'll give you consent to let. A lot of them give you consent to let because they know that life changes. I got a job up north. I need to go. You just get permission. Just do things right. Consent to let. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? If the property was in interest only,
Yes.
and then they give you the consent to let,
Yes.
that means the interest only will probably go higher, or would it change?
Sometimes, some lenders, it depends on the lenders. A lot of the high street ones just give you consent to let and it's fine. There are some lenders out there, it depends on which lender you have. They'll charge you a premium for doing that. So as soon as you come out of the fixed rate, because you haven't changed it because you're still in the fixed rate, you would then convert it to a let to buy. So you're saying, look, I want to come out of it. I used to live in this home. I don't want to be, homeowner now. I want it for buy to let now. Convert it to it's called a let to buy mortgage. A little bit. No, not these days. There's not a great difference, to be honest.
This one says, is property business okay? It's a two-tone question. I have 2 properties and I'm planning to get a third one. Is it okay to buy a new one, or should I save money or take money to Africa to buy a house? Africa? As long as you're not from Nigeria.
So,
You get the question. She has 2 properties.
yeah.
And she's planning to get a third one.
So,
So should she
yeah.
buy a new one, maybe here, or
Yeah.
should she take money to Africa to buy
So,
the third one?
So with that, I always say to people, what is your life plan? If you're now maybe late 40s or early 50s and you're thinking 55, I want to be spending half of my life in Africa, half of my life here. If that's for real, then maybe it's a time to do that. But guess what? If you invest here where you are and you can see your babies, when it's time to go to Africa, you can sell, take the money, go and do. Because I think Africa is one of those places, when you're doing anything in Africa, you have to be on the ground, not to lose. So I think that's my advice. Or you just buy a piece of land, you hold on to it, maybe with some of the money, buy here. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yes. And it's not to put lent out. Yeah. 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 That's it. Don't do it. No. Yeah. I do properties in Dubai, in Rwanda, so that's what I'm saying to say it just depends on your life plan. I sell properties in Dubai, in Rwanda, in South Africa, so it just depends on your life plan. But it's important to know what is your goal. For me, I say I'm a global citizen. I love traveling the world. I like to just work from my laptop. I'm here for a month, I'm there. That's my life plan. If it's not yours and you don't have that capacity, like you're saying, then maybe think about differently. But that's why it's really important to clear what do you want, what is important to you, what have you got? Have you got people there? But yeah, it's not.
So, two questions. One, do you consider holiday timeshare a good investment? And the second one is, if someone's 60 years and over, they did specify the age, can they take a mortgage? How likely are they to get a mortgage?
Yeah, I've done a mortgage for someone 60, quite a couple in the recent years, and it's fine. They had a council house, got a right to buy, big discount, very big discount, like a 30,000 mortgage. And I said, hey, your God is good now. He's given you catch-up anointing because you've probably got the same sort of mortgage as people who bought 20 years ago now for this house. So age really is neither here nor there. I've heard too many nightmares about holiday timeshares. Depends on the price. Everything is about if the price is right, if it's a good deal. If it's not a good deal, how many times are you really going to go there? Some people have timeshares, but they don't have the time to go and enjoy it. So, yeah.
So the next one,
Yeah, a lot of.
10% mortgages for someone on COS. What are the requirements?
So you just have to have good credit. Certificate of sponsor. The new visas that a lot of. I know. Is it Jakwa? Kenya visa. So just 10% deposit, good credit score because we use. There's a couple of high street lenders. I think another one has just gone on board as well now. So so that's it really.
So what's the requirement?
10% deposit, good credit report. So your credit score must be good.
And is there a limit to how long they've been in the country? Can they do it within 3 months?
Yeah. Within 3 months, but within 3 months, you might not have built your credit report. No, no, no. After, no time limit with these lenders.
The next one, kindly expatiate on estate having trust, how to put your mortgage under one. I think that's what this question was. Kindly expatiate on estate, I can't read this,
Estates.
estate something. Then the next one,
Trust.
expatiate on trust and how to put your mortgage under one. I don't know.
Okay.
Estate.
Estate planning.
Like your property.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we have a team in our business which looks at financial planning. So let's say you've built what you've got, and you've got a big estate now. Now you're thinking, okay, I want to leave this in a trust, a family trust, so that my children and the children's children will benefit. There are rules to that trust, etc. You do it via a solicitor to do that. Sometimes I would say don't give away stuff before you've finished using it. Make sure you've got enough for yourself, because once you put stuff in a trust, you don't own it anymore. The trustees own it. So you could have worked so hard for something, and then you've appointed trustees, and the trustees say, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to release that. And it's like, so coming back to relationships as well, making sure you put the right people there. And that's the main thing, isn't it? Go on. Go on.
It's about investing for children.
Yes.
So, what is the most tax? My first question: what is the most tax efficient way to help your children avoid inheritance tax?
Yes.
Number one. Number two. Or
Tax.
minimize the impact of inheritance tax.
Yes.
What is the best way to do that while you're alive? And number two, for children, I know there's the cash
ISA.
ISAs is 9,000. What about the junior SIP? Do you advise on that? They can't touch that until they're 58, or do you think it's better to do, for junior SIP,
The pension.
58 or junior SIP?
So, yeah. So, okay.
Reduce them getting that burnt of inheritance tax.
Okay.
One more, sorry.
Yeah.
If you have property,
Will I remember? 211. I might not remember. Let me answer that one. Okay.
if you have properties under a limited company, and God forbid somebody dies, how do your children benefit from that?
I know. So let me try the first one. Yes. So pension. The quickest way to make a millionaire of your child is to set them up with a pension. And the thing is, if you can have a pension from birth, pension for children. For every £10 you put in, there's £2.50 going into them. It's invested in stock markets. Choom. So one of the communities I absolutely used to love when I worked in Luton, when they would. Yes. Yes. So they can have a pension without earning an income. Yeah. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine because you're forward thinking. You're thinking about the future. At some point, they're going to need a pension. And it's a very beautiful legacy that a grandparent can do for a grandchild. Because I think as a parent, you're not really thinking pension. You're thinking they're going to need a car. They're going to need university. There's a lot of needs that you're planning for. But grandparents, you realize the importance of retirement and how soon it comes. And how awesome would it be when someone turns 18 and they say, Granddad, I got my first job. Fantastic. I've got a pot here for you with 150,000. Because they've been putting £10 a month over the years.
What do you call that?
It's a pension. It's a pension for children. Listen. Okay.
The one for 18 is the ISA.
No, SIP is state invested pension plan. It's a pension. Okay, SIP just means a pension, really. It's a pension, yeah. Listen.
All the children born
Yes.
before 2011 January.
Yes.
There is one for 2004 that the government gave, like when you give birth to the child, you get £100. When the child is 6 months old, you get £100, and they put it in an
Child trust fund.
child is 18.
Child trust fund. Child trust fund. So really and truly, what you're talking about is when you're investing for children, you've got to think they're not going to need this money for the next 18 years. I need to put it somewhere where it's going to work harder. If I don't have 50,000 upfront to say I'm going to buy them a deposit for a house that will work, I've got £20 every month, £50 every month. We're now talking investments of sorts. They've got their cash ISA, which they can access at an earlier age. Pension, it just means it's going to be needed later. But like I was saying to you, one of the people that I absolutely loved watching, Asian community when I was working in Luton, the minute they gave birth to a baby girl, they would come into the bank and say, I'm opening a bank account for my daughter for their wedding fund. I'd be like, wedding fund? And they would put £50 a month consistently because they know that because I've got a girl, she's going to get married. What kind of faith is that? So your faith as well will allow you to invest for retirement for your grandchild because you believe they're going to be there. If they die along the way, it's not dead money. It'll be received. So it's just, remember when I was saying short term, medium term, long term. If you are investing for future, you don't have to put as much money because the thing has got time. Yes, you've got time to grow it. But us, we're always here. We're always in now. That's the problem. But yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yeah, 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 yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So there's the cash ISA, which is cash, it won't grow much, but every child has that investment ISA as well. So the old child trust funds were converted into junior ISAs. So go to your bank, or sit down with an advisor. Advice costs, I suppose, financial advice costs. So if it's not a lot of money, it's not going to be worth it. But go and sit with your bank. When I used to work in the bank, I know we used to advise on junior ISAs. I don't know if they still do it, but just say, I want to open a junior ISA, stocks and shares one. How old is he? He's 18. Ah, let him now learn. Teach him now to say, son, open an account, in your name. Yeah, don't touch it. If you, yeah, or you open an ISA in your name, saying, this is now gonna be part of legacy of inheritance I'll leave for my son. If you want to do it that way, yes, yes, wow, come on, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's wisdom. Yeah. Yes. Mitigate. Yes, yes, there is. So you can gift, you can pay school fees for. There's so many things you can do, but it depends on where you are. Like I'm saying, if you're not yet retired, why are you giving your money away before you've retired? It's only now when you're saying, I'm sitting, I've retired, I've got all this money. Hey, I now start to give. Hey, because right now, if you're still working because you still need it and you want to give it away, only put trust and things, to protect in case you die. God bless you. Yes, ma. Oh,
I will be very grateful if you can expatiate on this children pension
yes.
as a grandmother.
You love it. Yeah. You can set up pension for grandkids. Yeah.
Where do I get it set up?
You can go to Hargreaves Lansdowne. Just Google set up child pension. Just Google it. NetWest. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, NetWest, and I'm trying to think.
It comes in your name, but they've got your the child's name in the background.
Okay. It's brilliant.
And then they say, how much target do you want?
Yeah.
So, and they will advise you on how much you pay.
I absolutely love it because you're putting a little money. When they say, "Granted, I got a job, a job at whatever," it's like, fantastic. Look what I've been doing for you. They'll be happy. God bless you, ma.
Thank you so, so much. Let us just put our hands together for our sister. Sister Tendai, thank you so much. I got to know you from one of my colleagues at work. I think you came to their church to give a talk on this, and she was the one that gave me your contact, and that's why I've been chasing you. We are privileged to have you, and we really appreciate We thank you for honoring God in our lives. Sister Tendai do charge for this section, and she didn't even take anything from us. She was even asking me, are people going to pay to attend? I said, no, ma. We are doing it for free. So we don't take this for granted. Thank you so much. We pray that God will take you places. It will connect you to people. It will put you in the shoulder of a giant so that you can stay afar. You've not seen anything yet. This is a blessed house, and we are liberated with knowledge and wisdom. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And we hope we will see you again and again and again. Thank you so much. Ladies, I want to appreciate you as well for taking time to come out. It's really, really encouraging. Thank you. I think we have our women conference soon as well. I don't know. I know you are a busy woman, but maybe. We like to have our bag. So I'll send you the flyer. If you can just squeeze us in, we'll appreciate you. So we've got a tiny gift for you as well. Silver or gold we did not have. So this is just a token of our love and just a little thing to say thank you. Yeah, we'll do better next time. Thank you so much. Can I just ask Sister Brenda? So, okay, just a token to say of our appreciation. We know it's nothing compared to what you've given us, but it's just a little drop, and we just pray our God will make it big for you in Jesus' name. So while we are waiting, so that I don't take too much of our time, I know our conference is in the next it's 14 to 16 of next month. So I want to implore you all to please. I've got some ladies say we need to go out. So we are having like a talk like this. We've got Reverend Elaine Roberts coming to talk to us. Then in the afternoon, we are going out for a dinner to somewhere, I don't know yet. But I'm relying on people to come up with where they really want to go. So I want to make it somewhere that is not too expensive and everyone will be able to afford, but we will have a good time together. Please, if you have anywhere in mind, so please let us know. Okay, where? Yeah. No, tell me here. Yeah. Okay. Can you please book it for, did everybody agree with that? So please, can you please arrange? So please, let us all come out so that we can socialize together. If there's any problem, anyone that is struggling, please let me know. So we want everyone to be part of it. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Guys, whilst we are still waiting for the flowers for our lovely sister Tendai, please can we all go on the Women of Virtue platform? There is a feedback form there, which we just want you to complete. It will take you less than a minute. There are only 5 questions. This will help us to know how to arrange another program next year or next time. So please, everybody, if you are not on the Women of Virtue, please can you just raise up your hand so that we can send it to your personal phone if you are not on the platform. Please, Sister Ogechi, please can you go on the Women of Virtue platform now? Mama Vicky, Sister Funke, please now. Can we all give feedback? Yeah. It's on the Women of Virtue, please. It will take less than a minute. Only 5 questions. My sister, My sister at the back, please. Can we all go on the Sister Shade? Please, my sister. We really, really value your feedback. So please, can we all give feedback, please? Less than a minute, 5 questions. Yes. Yes, rest assured, don't worry. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you.
So, on behalf of Women of Virtue Liberty House, we present this token of our love and to say we really appreciate you. We love you.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Oh, how did you know I love flowers? I love flowers. They're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you all for just a wonderful morning, and I enjoyed myself as well. Thank you.
So we see you soon. For the books, if anyone